Welcome back students to part 4. In this module, we will be discussing about velocity selector, Biot-Savart law and magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. One of the applications of crossed electric and magnetic fields is that of a velocity selector, from which we can select particles which are having a constant magnitude of velocity. Suppose if the electric and magnetic fields are applied in two perpendicular directions along the y-axis and z-axis respectively, then electric field vector E can be written as magnitude of E into unit vector J, and vector B is equivalent to magnitude of B into vector K. Then the velocity of the particle will be along the x-axis, which is given by vector V is equivalent to V into unit vector I. Here we know the electric force Fe will be equivalent to QE, which can be written as Q into magnitude of E into unit vector J. Magnetic force Fb is written as Q into V cross B, which is equivalent to Q into Vi, it is cross Bk. We had seen I cross K is equivalent to minus J. So Fb will be equivalent to minus QVBJ. One V is missing over there. The net force F is given by F is equivalent to QEJ minus QVBJ, which is equivalent to Q into E minus VB into unit vector J. Biot-Savart law. It gives the magnetic field due to an infinitesimal length of current, and the total field can be found by integrating it over the total length of all currents. Let us assume a conductor of infinite length in which a section dl is chosen. A current I is flowing through this conductor. Let P be the external point where we are willing to calculate the magnetic field. Let this external point P makes an angle theta with the direction of dl, and let it be at a distance of r from this current element dl. Then according to Biot-Savart law, the small magnitude of magnetic field dB due to this section of current element dl is found to be proportional to I dl sin theta by r square. That is, it is directly proportional to the current, directly proportional to the length of the element, directly proportional to sin theta, and inversely proportional to r square. When this proportionality is replaced by a constant, we get the constant to be equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi, where mu 0 is known as permeability of free space. The constant mu 0, which is called as the permeability of free space, has a magnitude of 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Now let us see some similarities between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. We have seen that the field at any point varies inversely as the square of the distance in both. Both the laws obey the superposition principle and both are long-range forces. Now let us see some differences between these laws. Electric field is produced by a scalar source Q whereas magnetic field is produced by a vector source I into dl. Electric field is acting along the displacement vector, whereas magnetic field acts perpendicular to L cross R. Electric field is not dependent on theta, whereas magnetic field depends upon theta. Now let us see the relationship between epsilon naught and mu naught, that is permittivity of free space and permeability of free space. They are related through the expression C is equivalent to 1 by root of epsilon naught mu naught, where C is the speed of light in vacuum. Now let us discuss about the magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. Let us take a circular current loop through which a current I is flowing. Now let us choose the center of the loop and draw a line through the center perpendicular to the plane of the loop. Let P be an external point on this axis. Let it be at a distance of x from the center of the loop. Let capital R be the radius of the loop. Selecting a section dl along the circular loop, which is at a distance of small r from the external point P, we can see from the figure that dl will be always perpendicular to r. So let x be the distance of the point P from the center of the loop where the magnetic field is to be calculated. Considering a conducting element dl of the loop, the magnitude dB of the magnetic field due to dl according to Biot-Savart's law is dB is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square, or in vector form I into modulus of dl cross r by r cube. From the figure, it is clear that small r square is equivalent to x square plus capital R square, and any element of the loop will be perpendicular to the displacement vector from the element to the axial point. Hence, dl cross r will be equivalent to r into dl. Thus we have dB is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi I into dl into r by r cube, which is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square. Substituting for small r square, we get dB is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl divided by x square plus r square. The direction of dB is perpendicular to the plane formed by dl and r. It has an x component dbx and a component perpendicular to x-axis db perpendicular. Considering a similar element dl, which is diametrically opposite to the present current element, we can see that the perpendicular components of magnetic field, that is dB perpendicular, will cancel each other since they are equal and opposite. If theta is the angle between the current element dl and r, then cos theta will be cancelling out and only the sine component along dbx will contribute to the net magnetic field. Hence, the total magnetic field will be given by dB sin theta. Substituting the value of sin theta as capital R divided by x square plus r square whole raised to half, we get dB sin theta is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi I r dl divided by x square plus r square whole raised to 3 by 2, which is 1 1/2. So So the net magnetic field is the integral of this dB sin theta, which is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi IR divided by x square plus r square whole raised to 3 by 2 integral dl. This integration will be done from 0 to 2 pi r, that is along the total length of the circular loop, which is equivalent to 2 pi r. So B total, that is the total magnetic field, is equivalent to mu 0 by 4 pi IR by x square plus r square whole raised to 3 by 2 into 2 pi r, which is mu 0 IR square divided by 2 into x square plus r square whole raised to 3 by 2. So the net magnetic field at an external point P is given by mu 0 IR square divided by 2 into x square plus r square whole raised to 3 by 2. If we are considering the center of the circular loop, x is equivalent to 0. Putting x equivalent to 0 in the above equation, we get Bx is equivalent to mu 0 IR square divided by 2 into r square whole raised to 3 by 2, which is r cube. Cancelling r square from the numerator and denominator, we get magnetic field at the center of the circular loop to be mu 0 I by 2r. Hope you have understood the session. Thank you, dear students.